Hey guys, and how's it going? A friend of mine was at a estate sale and he came across this. It's a DR power wagon. Essentially, it's a wheelbarrow on steroids, probably the best way to put it. Anyway, he was there and I guess they had sold it to somebody for $500, and when the person was kind of getting ready to load it, or I'm not quite sure how it went down, but noticed a hole in the transmission and then kind of bailed on it. Said, I really don't want it. I thought it was a functioning machine. And he called me up and said, hey, if you want this, you can have it for 50 bucks. So I said, sure. So I don't really know too much of a history. He doesn't know too much of history. Again, there was no way to go talk to. It was just a abandoned property that was getting cleaned out. When I was pushing it, I did notice that that wheel right there wobbles real bad. So it's got a bent wheel on it. And it, judging by the looks of it, it probably hasn't run in quite a few years, if it even runs. So let's go take a look at it. Close up while we're talking. So it runs like a 6-horse Tecumseh on it. It has a 4-speed forward and 1 reverse and a neutral. Got a brake lever on the right hand side, and I think that's a throttle on the right. Somebody looks like they made a extended bed for it and added it on. There is weights, blocks sitting on the inside. I guess they go lower on a chassis underneath it to kind of help it from, maybe when you dump it, doesn't flip the whole thing over. And there was another like bed with it. I don't know what the story is with this stuff. I don't know where that goes. And my guess is this is for like mixing cement or maybe hauling sand or fluids around. And again, there's another set of I don't know, side gates. Maybe use that as a flatbed. And then I don't know if that's a tailgate. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, let's go bring it over to the operating table. And let's go see what we can do with it and hopefully bring it back to life. Well, the sides just lifted right off there, so I got that out of the way. Let's see if we can flip it up. Get a better idea what's going on inside, how it works. So it looks like just a regular like riding lawnmower transmission, running back to a belt with a tensioner on it. What we got underneath it's kind of dark, but it's got like a mini bike centrifugal clutch on it, so probably at an idle it doesn't go anywhere. And then as you rev it up, that clutch kind of starts engaging and driving the transmission, depending on what gear you have it in. And it's pretty simple, actually, not really much to it. Alright, let's go see what we have happening for any kind of fluids or anything. That doesn't look terrible. It's dark, but at least there's something in it. I don't know if mice got to the, probably squirrels ate part of the gas tank. And that's pretty ripe. Let's go grab a light, take a peek down in there. Let's go see. Nice golden color. I see some water. I don't know if that light's too bright for you. There is water right where the brightness is, right in the center there. You can see on the bottom the little glistening separate. Looks pretty low though, so there's not too much to get rid of. Alright, so that's got to be dealt with. Let's give it a pull. See what kind of condition the engine's in. It looks like it's been pissing oil for a long time too. Bottom of that's really kind of wet and cakey. Yeah, it's not terrible. Let's go also get this cover off too for the air cleaner before you pull it over, so in case it's full of crap, you don't suck it in. Yeah, the guy that found this for us was the guy that got the suitcase scooter. It's a scooter that folded up, essentially to bring on an airplane, believe it or not, from the 60s. He's the one that found it for us. Shout out to Dan. He actually have some other stuff too that someday I'll get to. That is looking pretty cruddy and wet. Yeah, definitely tell it kind of sat outside. I don't know if that's gas and oil or just water. Looks like it's got a little pre-filter up top. That out. So it's got a drain for the fuel bowl. Let's see if we can get something underneath there. And actually, let's go give it a pull start first. Make sure it even turns. Watch, it just starts right up. It feels pretty good. Compression seems like it's decent. All right, let's go take a peek in that fuel bowl, see what we got. Yeah, we already know we got to take the gas tank off, but let's go see. Sometimes this tells the tale, you know, of what kind of life it's lived. Oh, sure. The pee. Yeah, there's water in there too. And the colors, I don't know if it's got a on-off valve for the fuel, or is it just going to naturally drain that tank? We'll let that pee for a little bit. And you can see the water right there in the corner. Alright. As far as the transmission, I took a look with the bed the way it is and what it's doing. The hole is on the bottom side right about, I think here it was, facing upward. So getting all the fluids pissed out of it. I don't know what kind of condition any of that is in. Again, it kind of looks like garden tractor, like lawn tractor I should say, transmission setup. So worst case scenario, possibly we can rob one out of the stash of parts machines I have and maybe retrofit one of them in there. Again, the axle's bent pretty bad. You might even be able to see it. How much that tire is leaning in on it. No, actually, let's grab the light. Looks like some kind of cobbling, and it's got a broken bracket down there. I'm looking right there. Yeah, it's got a broken bracket. Looks like somebody tried to fix it with a piece of, I don't know what that is, hinge or something like that. So he also said it was a very hilly property that it was on, so maybe it got out of control and got away from him, you know. All right. Yeah. Not too bad. Not like 20 years old. It's probably like, you know, maybe 4 or 5 years sitting. Let me get that out of there. Now let's go see if it's got spark, right? Oh boy, and she's pretty cruddy. Got one of those split style plugs on it, but it looks like it's pretty oil fouled. And maybe it ran with the choke on. We had a run issue and they ran it with the choke on, if it has a choke. Alright, let's go. Keys on. See what it does. It's crappy, but it's there. Alright. Let's dribble a little bit of fuel. I'm gonna go clean that up on a wire. We'll just knock some of that heavy crap off. We'll shoot a little bit of fuel in there. We'll give her a couple of yanks. Just fire it up and we'll just give it a quick listen. Make sure it's not knocking. Yeah, I dug a lot of carbon out from around that plug. I have a feeling the inside of the cylinder is probably the same way too. I think this probably has an automatic choke. Yeah, I don't see anything on it other than a throttle and a primer bulb. It should be enough for it to cough and fart though. Let's go see what it does. Or nothing. There it goes. That doesn't sound too bad. Just, I think when it kind of the locking of the clutch underneath going on and off, and a puff of smoke that it blew out. It may be a smoker. I don't know. Judging by how much, you know, crap that's not, what was on that plug definitely makes it look like it was oil fouled. Let's we kind of disassemble it a bit anyway. Got to kind of check for like mouse nests and overheating. I see crap kind of hanging down around the tin, so I want to get this off. I want to get to the gas tank, kind of rinse that out really well, and we got to do something about that hole that's in there too on the tank. All right, let's go digging a little. I think I don't know if this is just sitting on here. I don't see screw holes for it holding it. I gotta work with this two-handed. I think we just lift that up and there's gonna be screws underneath there. Looks like it just kind of snaps in. I like working on stuff I've never worked on before. I like the curiosity aspect of it. We got one here for the tank. And the pull start's got like 3 going around it. I don't know, we may not have to take the pull start off. We may get the tank off and then this whole chin will come off as one piece. There's a tag on the back too. I wonder if we see what year it is. What's that say? Got a date on it. One of you will tell me what it is. Yeah, there's a reason why you kind of want to take them apart. This is where the throttle was. I took that off and you can see there's definitely mouse nests, at least a little bit in there. So I'm just chasing screws, trying to figure out where everything's kind of screwed down and bolted on to get us that gas tank out of the way. Feels like there's one more back here somewhere. Think straight up. Possibly. Yeah. Clip there. And clip there. Let's get that fuel line off of there. Put the gas cap back on. See if fuzzy friends come hopping out of here. You got one more behind the. Yeah, in the mud was one hiding. All right, how about now? Oh yeah. And that's why we take them apart. Because that's what happens is it'll run, but it'll overheat and cook the motor, which may even be why this one is burning away. It may have already had that issue. Anybody living in here? There's the hole. There's nest. Moving day. That's been there a long time. You see all the corrosion it's been doing to everything. At least it still had spark. Alright, so I'm going to take a minute to evacuate the rest of that, so you guys don't have to hold your breath. I think a little bit more in the coil there. Yeah. Alright. Let me go vacuum a bunch of that crap out of there, and we'll move on. There you go. I got cleaned off a little bit. Took off what we can, and didn't hit with an air gun. Got rid of the rest of the crap. I think what we'll do is maybe we'll get that carb off. I want to look at the float bowl underneath and make sure that is working like it should. So we're gonna have to unbolt that. But while we're doing that, let's go get the drain plug out of the bottom, get the oil drain in while we're screwing around with this. Yeah, you definitely you didn't eat any of the wires, which is good, but you could definitely saw where like his carcass kind of cooked to the engine, and it was all down in there. So there's a big fan that sits up on here, which this is, and then the fan shroud directs air across the engine and blows out down the bottom. Of course, that's all closed up. It overheats and cooks the engine. So hopefully, my only thought is like the saving grace on this. It's not like a lawnmower where you run it for 45 minutes at a pop. This, I would think you would fire it up and you would go 5 minutes across your yard doing what you're doing, and shut it off till the next one. My opinion. That wasn't very tight. That's what we get. Oof. Yeah, definitely think it's due. Might have to change that one twice. Usually I like to kind of run them a little bit, and I'll take the, when it's hot, you kind of suspend all the dirt and crap that sits on the bottom of the crankcase. Kind of spins around inside it and mixes, and you get a better drain of the crap out of it. We'll see. A lot of times what I'll do too is I'll fire it up later, and then you kind of take a look at the oil if the oil's real dirty again. But I don't think this thing got very much maintenance. Needs a whack. Put up a little bit of a fight. Try to tear up the gasket too much. Yeah, that's what it's doing. Let's get that linkage off of there. I'll go over to the bench, and float is pretty easy on that one. You don't even have to unbolt it. You just kind of flip a bail like a master cylinder. Let's go pop that off. I think that's just sitting in there kind of gingerly. It kind of just like it clips in. Out of it. It's looking pretty smudgy. Yeah, it's got a lot of sludge on it. Definitely a good thing we went in and gave her a bath. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to get a little probe, pop that float out of there, and just kind of rinse everything out. Really not much we can do on this end of it other than clean it. Fairly simple carburetor. Not much to it. Good. I like when they're like that. Hopefully it performs like it should though. Yeah, so we get that to lift out of there. There's one side. There we got it. Oh, you get underneath there a little bit better and clean. I also want to check out that with the needle and seat land, make sure they're okay. Back out. So I'm not going to put this in a carb cleaner. I don't trust the plastic part of it, you know, I don't want to destroy it. That. And we'll put that back together. And hopefully she functions like she should. Sometimes these can be, the style carb can be a little problematic. Looks like a big ballast resistor or something, doesn't it? Instead of a carburetor. Good as used, all cleaned up. I'm not going to take that gasket off of there because the rest of it's still on the engine, and putting them back together should kind of marry, not have us create an intake leak. Let's go look at that gas tank where the holes are in that. Yeah, I wonder if we can, maybe we take like a big soldering iron or something and like kind of heat it and mush it back over the hole. Any kind of putty or anything like that you're going to put on there, it's just not going to hold up. I don't know if that one's a hole or not either. Feels pretty close to it. Any other? That one might be okay. Yeah. Let me go wash it up and we'll give it a shot, see what happens. Yeah, this might make a smoky mess. Let's go heat up. Let's see if that's enough. Kind of sneak up on it, you know. Come on, mush. Probably should have used something for like a filler too, you know. Cut off a piece of the lip somewhere else and let's see what we get. Kind of hoping we can like fold it in on itself. We just making it worse? Might be. Yeah. I think let's go screw it a little bit more. We might need something to kind of fill it up. I thought that would have folded over a little bit better than that. Got extra material down there. We need a little bit more heat too. Let me go cut off a little of that lip right there. We'll try to use that as a solder. Think it's working? Getting on it. I think it's kind of falling through to the inside a little bit though. I just break that piece off. Let me let that. Can't see if it's got it. Let me just let it be for a second. Can I separate it like? There we go. Let's let that cool off. I think there's a little pinhole up top. Let's see if I can. You know, it's like working with Bondo. The more you screw with it, you think you got it, and then you make a big mess out of it. All right, let's let that chill out. What I'll do is I'll put my finger over the fuel line going out, and we'll blow into it. We'll see if it holds the air pressure. A little questionable right there, but it doesn't look terrible. Sometimes in your mind you have a picture of how something's going to work out. It doesn't quite. Hopefully. All right, let's get up and personal with it. So our finger over that, and I think we're okay. Good. Doesn't look the greatest. That's right. Just got to function, right? Alright, so where are we? What do we got to knock out? Carburetor to go back on. Fuel tank seems like it's decent. We got to put oil in it. Maybe probably be a good time to pressure washer. We'll throw the plug in it and we'll just stick like a piece of something in the intake, and we'll give her a bath and clean up a bunch of the crap. A lot of times, you know, people say, why don't you do that right away? I kind of like it for like witness marks. So you take something apart, you can tell, you know, how gaskets went and how hardware was and how you know, just how things came apart, the imprint that they leave behind. And sometimes it also gives you a tell as far as like if something's wrong. Like again, if you washed it all off, you didn't see where oil staining was, and just that kind of thing. So I kind of approach that part of it. I rather work with it dirty. Sounds like a joke there. And you know, pick away at it, and then at the end kind of clean it up. Just my personal preference. All right, we get the drain plug in it, throw some oil in it, and give her a bath. I'll bring you back. Well, that definitely increased the value about $100. Paint's pretty decent on it actually, as we get all that crap out of the way. Still got to put oil in it. I wanted to take the drain plug back out one more time just in case any water did get in it. We can purge that out. And then I got all the tins cleaned up. Everything's ready to go back on it. So I'm probably just going to jump ahead. We'll get it back together and try to run it, and we'll see what we get. Hopefully it is not a smoker. And the other thing on that too is possibly because that air cleaner was so clogged up and so wet that if it was running with that, that would also cause it to run in a heavily choked setup, get up, whatever. Well, that definitely looks much better. Hopefully it functions as well as it looks. I left the air cleaner off because again, it's, you know, got its issues as far as it's going to be choking the crap out of it. So this has a primer bulb on the side of it. Whether that, oh, I hope you'd hear us. I don't know if that's up with fuel or not. Let's go pop you in a stand, give her a couple of yanks, and hope she fires over. Alright, come on baby, talk to me. I want you to give us some throttle. I think it's just rattling though. I don't think it's motor. Just let that warm up. It does have that clutch underneath too. That could be a little bit. But I saw the soot that was blowing all around. So just kind of keep an eye on that. Pulley seemed pretty quiet. I guess it's just got a throttle. That's how you make it go. Hold the RPMs up a little. I would think there's a bunch of crap in that muffler that may burn off too, so it may smoke for a minute, but hopefully it goes away. It is making it a little... I'll bring you back in a minute. I'll let it run a little bit. I'm going to go turn the fans on, open the door. Seems pretty good. A couple of minutes have gone by. Let's try bumping it in one of the gears. Just see what we get. Oh, man. That's supposed to be idle speed. That clutch shouldn't be trying to engage like that. Look how bent that wheel is. You can probably turn the idle down. I was hitting the brake too to try to make it stop. Maybe that clutch just has a bunch of rust on it. It needs to burn off. Dang, just spinning that wheel. Yeah, I think we just got to get the idle down a little bit. All right, this does something. We're getting there. Engine seems like it's decent. Oh, we just got to fix. And it went in gear, which is, you know, so we haven't run it through all, but we got first and reverse. I don't know if it blew something apart in the trans or if it just, I don't know. We'll look at it in a minute. I'm going to try picking on that idle. Picking on it. I'm going to try turning it down a little bit, see if we can get the idle where the clutch isn't locking up like it is. Looks like there's an adjusting screw right there. I got the light touching it right now. Now I'll try. My guess is backing it out. Looks like it has a little access hole through the front of it too. turn it, doesn't influence it at all. That might be for the high end, not the high idle. We'll concern ourselves with that maybe a little bit later. Let's go jack a tire up in the front and we'll take a peek on what's going on with that setup up there. Okay, you're probably not going to be able to see it, but I put it up in the air and took a look at it. And it looks like behind that spring there's one on this side also. So I'm going to go try turning that one a little bit, see if we can get the idle down a little. It's hiding. I don't know if you can. You're sitting a little high in your high chair. Let me go screw with that one, see if it'll work. Might be a little too low. I'd be afraid it'd be hard to start when it's cold. Still pop it in gear as soon as it does. Yeah, it's still trying to drive it, so I would say it's probably an issue with the clutch. I don't know if it's got rust on it or what. We gotta. Anyway, let's get a wheel off. See what's going on in there. Got a good amount of rain coming down. Good day to hang out in the garage. These are just like snowblower wheels, it looks like. Alright. See what we got happening in here. Yeah, that whole bracket's kind of ripped. See how far off that is. Looks like the whole bracket ripped out. You can see the bearing is cocked. I wonder if it's the axle that's bent. And he put whatever this is, yeah, a piece of angle, just put in there to help support it. It happens when you don't have a welder, I guess. And the hole, you guys are like, you haven't showed the hole in the transmission. Let me get you up under there. Let me get a light. So the hole is that right there. At first I was kind of thinking maybe, you know, it blew something out of the trans and like they worked it too hard and it got a chunk. But judging by the fact that that wheel's all bent up like that in the axle, I wonder if it like got smashed into some rocks or rolled down a hill, or if all the gears work, we could probably just, there's no pressure there, you know, it's not like there's just gravity for, we could probably plug that with something, you know, just some like JB weld or something. We don't have to get totally fancy with it. Maybe we can take like a piece of metal, match the curve of it, put JB weld on the metal and like put it like a tire patch on it. Yep. Let's fire this up and see if it's that axle that's doing all the wobbly, or if it was the rim that got bent. I'm kind of betting it's the axle. Wonder if we can heat that up. Well, let's go see what we got first. Oh yeah, she's got a wobble to her, huh? Keep falling out. Let's try bumping it through the gears to see if all the gears are good. We should be fine as long as we got one tire up in the air. And that's the brakes right there. Little brake. And then it's got a little tiny pads inside here. When you move that lever, it just kind of binds up on a caliper right in there. Let's go bump it through the gears. That's first gear, second, third, fourth. Probably marked right where the high side of it is. I'm gonna put a mark on where the high side is. Maybe, well, I'm guessing maybe heat. Problem is that the seal is right behind there. I'm a little cautious to trying to go cook it. Let's see what it does. It was able to bend one way, right? You can bend it back. So that's the way we got to go, opposite to get it out. I don't know, maybe let's go, this really isn't doing anything right now anyway. Let's go get this assembly off of it if we can, and maybe we'll weld that up and we'll get a better idea where it's bent. Judging by how much this is moving, the bend's probably behind it. Hey, we're cool. What you got, right? Yeah. I don't know if that bearing's got keepers on it to help it stay in place. You would think it would just kind of float in there. That's another one. One on each side. We'll look for set screws. I think there's one right there. I can feel it. Yeah. I'm gonna loosen up those set screws. We'll see if we get that bearing off of there. Yeah. Still bound up on it. Let's get that spacer off. They're backed off. Let's go try to get something behind it. Give her a couple of love taps. That jack might be in the way. I think it's moving. Let's run it back. The problem is we're trying to drive it through where the bend is. I'm gonna take a wire wheel. I'm gonna clean up whatever I can on this a little bit and lube it and give us a better shot at trying to slide off. Or a little Scotch-Brite wheel. I can see an air gap in the axle. How much it's rubbing? Yeah, it's right at the union there. Which kind of makes sense, right? What do you want to come up with for a solution to try to bend that? One thing I wonder if we can, I don't have anything to chain it down to, you know? If we chain this side down and we get with a floor jack and we kind of push on it right here to try to bend it back down, that way there isn't too much pressure on the axle. The other thing is heat too, but there isn't, like I said, there's an air gap. I could see right inside there right now. Just wonder if fluid's gonna piss out, you know? Yeah. So our high spot is starting to get rubbed off. And right there, I think. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try spinning that transmission. Let's go. Put it back in gear. We'll spin that so it's straight up. And maybe what we can do is, if I can make something going to the ceiling, you know, pushing downward, holding it, and we can come up underneath it with a jack and push on it. Worst case, we'll give her a little bit of heat too, but let me see if I can kind of cobble up going straight up above us. So it looks like either 2 or 4 bolts, however we decide to take apart. We can either take these out on each side or these out on each side. We get the bed up out of our way. Yeah. Got a big erector set. Should have done that to begin with, huh? I started thinking about it a little bit. Instead of maybe going through all that, let's just try shoving a pipe over it and see if that will help. You know, see if we can get a pipe over it and kind of yank down on it and get the bend out. You figure it had to bend fairly easy. Generally axles are pretty tough, but you know, let's go see. I'm going to strap the other side of it down so when I'm pushing down on that side's not going to lift up. Alright, I got 2 pipes to see which one gets over. That one's pretty good, actually. Let's give her as close as we can. I know I'm running the risk of cracking this right here. Let's see what we get. Anything? Wish there was a way to kind of. I think it did something. Yeah, it's still going way uphill though. Yeah. Give her some more. I think the pipe bent. Well, there's that. Can we sleeve one in the other? With the 2 pipes. Oh, so close. Kind of give it support. I want to try to maintain as close to that diameter as I can. I'm gonna eyeball that again. Maybe like a jack handle from a jack, not that one. It's capped on the end. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, grab the jack handle. Any chance? Come on. Oh yeah, good. I just didn't want to give no support. You know, the closer I can be to the diameter of that, I'm not touching in just one little spot. I get better support that's on it. I'm kind of thinking maybe we can put some heat on it and try to help it. And the problem is, I think, well, like the bend is right there. Part of me is thinking maybe if we take it all apart, get the axle out of it and put it in the press. And another part of me is like, why don't we just take some wet rags, try to put it around it, put heat on it, and see what we get. There might not even be a seal in there at all. It might just be a bushing, because again, that's just going to have like a little bit of gear oil in it. There's no, it's not like a car transmission, you know. It spins so slow, it really does not. Try to convince myself. Let me come up with something. We'll figure it out. I'm going to try it one more time with the support of this. I cut a piece of pipe. It's about that long, longer than the axle, because this has a plug in the middle. All right, let's go. Yeah, got it one more time. think that may have done something that time. Almost flipped the bench over. Let's see if that's getting us in there. Yeah, that got us a little bit. Keep going. I wish, you know, I wonder if I can take a square off of that top section. We can kind of eyeball it, give us an idea how close we are. We can always start it back up too and see, you know, make it spin. I'm gonna go a little more. Go too far. You don't have to go for perfect. I wouldn't mind it though. Let's go start that up and we'll see how it looks. Iron hole, cold start. Put it neutral. Definitely better. Same spot though. Let's try a little more. Let me try coming out a little bit. See if that helps us. Start it up again. Definitely getting better. I wonder if we should mark a new high spot. Where the white marker go? Pretty much maintain that spot. I was trying to stop it at the right location. Alright. It's almost to the point where we could live with it. Or what if the rims got... It might. We'll figure that out later. You know what we could do? Just shove it on there, spin it right now. If the wheel wobbles. Well, the rim's got an issue. Let me pop me in the stand. A hair. Not enough to worry about. Alright. I'm going to do the same. Keep doing the same. So I feel we have a winner. Or I break it. Whichever comes first. Or both. Play it again. Still putting up a fight. Well, I wouldn't say that's perfect. But looking at the gap back there, it looks pretty good. My only concern is that where that bearing was trying to walk. Let's throw the rim on it. See how it is with the tire on it. Let's see how that does. That's definitely a lot better than what it was, huh? I may give it one or two more shots and then call it. That's looking pretty good. I'd say we go with that. Let's make sure we get that center in the hole before we start welding stuff. Should be able just to squeeze that axle over, because this is what supports it. There we go. That looks like it's in the middle. What's your eyes? My rod is sticking. Hate when that happens. Gotta stick your rod. Let's go put that tire on. If I can remember, this one's got a slow leak. Let's go see if we could spray it up and see if anything shows. Hopefully it's not leaking through the tread. It's got some dry rot on it, kind of common. Maybe the valve stem. It's a tubeless tire, so. Plus it's also the one that took the hit, right? We'll let that sit a little bit, see what shows up. Well, there you are. Let's go try putting a plug in that, see if that'll work. All right, back together. Let's go do a wobble check. It's staying as it is no matter what. Oh, too bad, huh? Woozy daddy. Well, it's fine to me. Might have a shimmy at about 60 or 70, but 5 miles an hour across the yard, you never even know the difference. All right. So what we got left? We got the patch and fill the gearbox, and we have to deal with that clutch, whatever's kind of happening with that it seems like it always wants to drive, you know. It's not grabbing now, which is weird. Is the idle still just maybe a little too high? I'll try bringing it down a little more, but I'm afraid that it's going to be hard to start, you know, like, I don't know. Let me try turning it down a little bit more, see if we're able to get it, because it feels right. Actually, no. Turning the, yeah, well, it's not grabbing the inner. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to get a light up there and shine. Actually, it looks like one of the shoes is sitting on a funky angle. Yeah, there might be an issue going there, huh? Well, that'll make it a little easier to work on. Look at the clutch. I don't know, but I wonder if we're missing a spring. Right on that side of the shoe. Looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what's going on there. We should be able to find something to fit. Let's go look at the gearbox. See what we got going on over here. Looks like actually somebody tried sealing it once before, huh? Look at all that black crap all around it. Whatever this was. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, kind of putty or something they put on there. Let's take a peek inside. Doesn't look bad, huh? Someone's giving her the truck. Yeah, maybe we'll scuff that up. And I wonder if we'll curve like a little piece of metal to match the profile of it. And we'll mix up some, you know, one of the putties or something. And we'll do the same. Probably, this thing probably should use a skid plate on it somewhere. All right, let's go scuff that up real quick and see what we can come up with. Let's go give her a seam. I think you get the idea. I'm going to work on that, get it nice and cuffed up, and we'll try to curve a piece of metal to match that. I take a piece of steel and put a curve on it. Let's see, we definitely need more than that. Actually, that part's not bad. Let's give a little bench heave on the side there. Slice, let's go chop off right about there. And we'll bring that back and finish molding that to it. I don't know how we're going to clamp it though. So it looks like I can get pressure using these two. I can touch, you know, dead center and dead center. And it's kind of spring loaded, you know what I mean? It's like this is sitting proud, so it'll actually have like a little spring pressure on it. Let's load up. I got some 2-part epoxy. We'll make it, and we'll probably put it on this, and we'll make a circle going around it. And so we don't push any into there. If we have any extra, maybe we'll do also on this. But that should, I would think that would do it. As long as it doesn't get hit, you know, if it whacks into a rock or something, I'm sure it's going to be an issue, but we'll see. How about that? Just kidding. How about some taro putty? I'm almost out. We got a little bit left. It says steel reinforced. I do not know if it's going to be for steel against aluminum. I would think so, right? Guess we're going to find out. I roughen the surface up. I clean both of them with lacquer thinner. Yep. Let me go goober up a bunch of that and shove it on there and see what we get. I'm thinking something like that. Wish I had a little bit more to work with. And hopefully, we'll put these and we'll get them clamped on. I might try to work with something else too. Actually, what I might do is take like a hammer, try tapping on it to get it to seat, and get it to squish. Get her back into play too. Just do a bunch of that. So it kind of flattens itself out on the both of them, and then we'll let it set up. Yeah, I threw some clamps on there, but I have a feeling that that is not going to work. I just don't think it's going to stick. Of course, when I put pressure on the end, kind of curled away. I can always come back and you know, feed some goop. If it does stick, I can come back and, you know, back feed the sides of it as a sealer to keep it from, you know, getting ripped off. But I'm not sure it's going to do what we need it to do. It's already hard. I just don't think I had enough working time to try to get it in a position the way I wanted it to be. Yeah, I'm thinking we don't got it. Let's go see. Right idea. Actually, it probably would have been fine if I didn't peel it off. Oh no. It's not sticking to the base metal underneath. That. You gotta come up with something else. Plus that stuff's on the old side too. They didn't help things. Let me recurve it so it fits again. And maybe try to like mix up maybe like a 2-part epoxy. I guess. Tweak around the vise a little. Second attempt. 2-part epoxy. See how that does. Oh, well, that's curious. Now let's get the clutch off of there and see if we can find a spring for that. See a set screw there. Yep. Just need the center of it, but try and take it out of there. Yeah, this looks like it's gone. I'm gonna go do some shopping, see what I can find for finding something small like that. If I gotta get it in there. If I got a snap ring on the top, you could probably just pop that and the whole center will come out. Yeah. Tell you, the work will do. Not to use a regular wheelbarrow, right? Manual labor. Come on. I see it. You thought I was gonna lose it, didn't you? Alright, let's get that off right there. And yeah, we're just missing, and that's probably why it's sitting racked like that too. Nuts are falling off everywhere. Alright, let me see what I can come up with. So I got to make a spring. I need a spring about that size, and all I have is something same gauge, but just way too long. I'm going to try to fold one over and make it the size we need. Just kind of run it into a jar of ice and try to get her to go. Something like that, and then I'm going to take a whiz wheel and cut it right there, and that should be the other hook on the other side, hopefully. Problem is that this one's kind of long, but we'll see. I'm probably going to try sticking in a vise and try to get these two to crunch up a little further. That's the idea. Like that. Like that, but you can see how much longer it is. I want that one to fall all the way over. We wanted that one to crunch up. Yeah, put it on there, see if it will work for us. Thinking it might be a little too heavy, but we're not going to know until we put it back together, right? Yeah. So what happens, the motor spins. These are essentially weights, and they want to fly outward. And when they fly outward, they want to catch on this drum, and then that drum in turn turns the belt that runs the transmission. So, wish us well. Definitely much more of an air gap going around it, huh? My only fear is now we're going to put it on and you're going to have to rev the piss out of it to get it to move, but let's go find out. It's been sitting on its side for an hour or so. I guess a gas tank doesn't leak, huh? All the fuel is sitting right there. I thought it was going to leak out of the cap too. Seems to be okay. I'm going to let this set overnight with that transmission the way it is, and we'll let that cure up nice. And hopefully we come back and put some fluid in it that stays. Alright, it's the next day. Probably about 12 hours of cure time. I think that's pretty much got it. You know what's nice too? That's got a little bit of I'm going to call it elasticity, a little bit of give to it, so it's not brittle. Watch it just fall right off, right? I think we're pretty good on that. Let's go flip her back down and put some kind of fluid in it. It looks like the gassing oil cap is definitely passed the function test overnight. Well, my guess is access would be this rubber plug here. Come on. It'll break off, you know. Yeah, a lot of times they have, I've taken them apart, all they have in them is grease. They don't even have oil in them. Not sure on this one though. I'm going to probably just put a little bit of gear oil in there. Have a well-deserved drink, my friend. Hopefully you can keep it down. I'm probably just going to put about maybe 1.5 inches from the bottom. I want to be lower than the axle height because it may piss out the axles. And pretty much all it does, again, it's just a gearbox. There's no clutches. There's nothing like that in there. There's, I'm sure, some bearings, but there's a ring gear for the differential on the bottom. As long as that's wet, when that travels through the gear oil on the bottom, that makes it splash around on everything else. And this thing spins so slow, like I said. A lot of times I've taken them apart and all I have is just some grease on the gears. There. Yeah, see if we get any wetness anywhere. It looks pretty good. Yeah, I didn't expect that to be an issue. Again, just kind of watch it that we don't high center it on rocks and stuff. We could probably mess it up again. That looks decent. Let's go fire it up and check, see how that clutch works for us now with the extra spring on there. Fire in a hole. Well, started good. Let's try to put it in first gear. Didn't take off, thread it. Good. Looks like it's doing what it should. I'm gonna leave the idle where it is. I might bring it up a little bit later, but it seems like it's okay. So it came with 3 cement blocks that sat under here. I'm gonna go put them on, and I'll put the body back on. I think that's pretty much what we got left to do. Oh, and that. Real ketchup, Eddie? Yeah, good stuff. Get in there. Make you fit. Well, it's the expensive part of the whole machine. $8. That should finish our repairs. So I decided to put the black hopper on it, and everything's good except for when you try to shut it. Kind of fights it a little bit. I don't think it's this. I think this latch has a little bit of a bend to it. Because I would think that when you're closing it, you shouldn't have to grab the handle and pull it out of the way. Like this gap is too close. So let's heat it up right here. See if we can get some of that bend out. That'll fix both of those problems at the same time. Hopefully. Plus we can find out if we have gas leaks while we're at it. That should do it. That looks better too. Should just click right in. There we go. Slight adjustment on the pin. Good. Like it never happened. I just all back together, except where does that go? Like a little extra. You know what? I think it goes above the engine. Oh, look at that. Nifty. Probably for, like, you know, gardening would be my guess as a setup. And my wife has already kind of spoken up for it. She wants to use it. We got a bunch of raised beds and stuff she's putting together. So that might work out pretty good. I don't like the fact that the drain holes kind of piss on the engine though. It's kind of weird. Maybe your flowers, you kind of put your flowers and stuff in here, and this is like your potting soil and everything, is my guess. Could probably plug them up if we have to too, you know. That's my guess. Yes, probably for flowers. Just set them up in here when you're doing your thing. There's plenty of room underneath it. I'm gonna go wipe that and take her off the bench, put her on the ground. So one screw left in the hopper. Looks like 2 of them broke off. I'm not gonna fight with them. I'm just gonna put some self-tappers next to it. See how this goes. around pretty good while you're firing it up. Fire it up. Seems like the clutch is fine. I figure we'll give her a trial run. I got a bunch of crap laying around the cabin I want to go clean up. Just, you know, old lumber that was cut down and left behind for a long time. That's, you know, no good for anything else but landfill. So I'll fill up the hopper with that and we'll give her a run down the trail, see how it does. About 150 pounds in it. Got her in third gear. Seems like it pulls pretty good. We're gonna go doing some uphill in a second there, so. Go for broke. Try fourth. Fourth is probably like transport mode, but. Pulls it fine. Clutch is going good. I think the pull start needs a little bit of lube. You hear that like high pitched squeal. I think that's the pull start. Third gear. Flat brakes. Brakes work good. Let's give her a dump, see how that works. Well, it seems to do everything it should. I think, again, my wife is going to end up inheriting this. She's always complaining that I always have big power equipment and move everything around, and she's always doing everything by hand. So hopefully this makes some amends. It steers pretty easy. You would think that you'd have to kind of fight it a little bit. Nah, it's pretty good. I can see why they went to maybe 2 wheels in the back to give it a little bit of balance better. And if you're trying to like go up ramps or something to put it in the back of a truck, that can be a little bit of a pain in the ass with the 3 sets of wheels on it, having to have 3 ramps instead of 2. Other than that, it seems like it functions really well. Starts real easy, starts on the first pull. Usually give it like 1 squirt of the prime and it goes, having no choke it. You know, I was kind of questioning that a little bit. But it's a decent machine. 800 pound capacity is what it can do on it. And you can have a hard time getting 800 pounds in there, I would think, due to the fact that, you know, just the size of the box that is on it. So, brakes work good. Ran through all the gears. 4th gear, you're almost trotting along with it in 4th gear, a little too fast. Again, that's maybe more for transport, but it seemed like it didn't slip the clutch at all. It moved, you know, it wasn't slipping, so it moved all that load. That's probably 150, 200 pounds. There were some big rocks I put in there too, so kind of beef it up a little. But nah, it's a neat little machine. All right, guys, with that, I want to thank you all for hanging out, having some fun, bringing old junk back to life. I really enjoy it, and apparently one or two of you guys do too. So we'll continue doing that. But for this one, I think we're going to go call it a win, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, later.